So let's put everything together and make our full combos. I mentioned earlier about the color coding, how your normal launchers are going to appear in orange. So let's look at all of those first. You have while standing 2, forward, forward 3, up, forward, then 4, the delayed hop kick, and then the counter hit on forward, 4, 3, 4. Do note it still sucks. You missed me. You haven't seen me pick that up yet. You miss it every time. It's terrible. We'll cover that in just a second, though, as I mentioned. So we're going to look at some basic combo options that work for all of these. And furthermore, they work for everything. There's just a little bit of spice on some other ones that we'll get to. So the first combo we're going to look at starts with down, back 2, back 2, 3. We mentioned those in your extenders. Nice and simple as can possibly be. From there, you can just choose your ender. Forward, 4, 3, 4, for example. Works just fine. You can use whatever tornado you want to. Right? You can change to that one. Perfectly fine. They all work well. And from that, you can do any of the 4 enders you want. I don't need to do every ender every time because they're all pretty much interchangeable. You can just do this, run up, ender A, just like that, right? As simple as can be. All 4 enders are more or less interchangeable unless otherwise noted. So if you're comfortable with A, stick with A, right? Back 3, 4, 1 plus 2, good to go. But we can build up some little better stuff, and there are definitely better options out there that are still just as easy, and some that are kind of hard. So next up, let's look at the red sequence. Down, forward, 2, 4, 2. Right, again, you don't have to control the stances. You're just doing down, forward, 2, 4, 2. And then for the ender, just do down, forward, 4, 2. So listen to the rhythm of that. It's down, forward, 2, 4, 2, then down, forward, 4, 2. That might confuse you, or it might make it easier to learn. Oh, yeah, that is a nice little pattern. Either way, kind of just think of it in your head. That's the red sequence. Down, forward, 2, 4, 2, referred to as the red sequence. You'll see it in the Google Doc. It's red everywhere that appears. So you can think of it as red sequence, like, oh, yeah, it's that 3-hit stance number. It will start to just become automatic. Your brain will instantly translate it into the buttons. You don't even have to worry about the 2s anymore. So that's nice and simple. And then down, forward, 4, 2, tornado. All 4 enders, easy to go. No problem there. The difference, this one will not work off of this counter hit, as we mentioned. That's not ever going to work. Down, forward, 2 will not connect there. So, again, that one's kind of a problem. Don't worry about it. All the other orange basic-ass launchers works just fine. The red sequence, down, forward, 2. Now, let's look at the blue sequence. Forward, 2, horse 2. Can be a little tricky to do a forward, forward in your combo right away, especially if, like, in the middle of a match and you're not, like, overly used to it. If you're just working it out, you might, oh, what do I do here? It's too late, right? Forward, forward 2 can be a little tricky in combos, but not that bad. It's just like any other input. You got to get used to what it is. Have it ready to go in your mind, and it'll come out automatically. So with this one, we're going to do forward, forward 2, 2, then a down, back 2. The reason we don't do that first is because we want the forward, forward 2 first, because you can do the blue spark. It's hard, but it can be done. So once we do that, we do forward, forward 2, 2, down, back 2. There's your same tornado. Down, forward, 4, 2. Works. Now, I will mention this has some weird hitbox issues going on, this particular combo. That down, forward, 4, 2 will miss a lot. See? Just like that. What's weird is it's character specific, and I don't know why. It misses on Paul and Raven, but it hits Kazuya and Xiao Yu 100% of the time. The hitbox just doesn't quite connect on some of them. What you can do is delay the down, back 2. If you delay that a little bit, it works just fine. And you'd be surprised how low to the ground that hits. Delay, and then there it is. But if you delay that too much, you're going to drop the combo anyway, like you saw. So it's going to drop in one place or another unless you get the timing just right. So you can either delay that down, back 2, and it'll work just fine. Or you can do this. Down, back 2, 2 jab, forward, forward 3. That also hits very, very low to the ground, pretty reliable. You don't have to worry about the distance or anything. Just do the 2 jab and then dash it out. Down, back 2, 2, forward, forward 3. That's 1 less damage, and it's 100% consistent that way. It's much, much harder to drop that once you know how to do it. The 2 jab, and then the boom, you're good. There's no inconsistencies in hitboxes. Usually works better off axis, too. The axis can make it worse. If you're a little bit to the left, the down, forward, 4, 2 combo gets even worse. If you're to the right, it gets better. So, I mean, I hate to introduce dumb little things like that, but you need to be aware of it. The combo that you want to go for is the blue sequence. Forward, forward 2, horse 2, down, back 2, and then 4, 2. That's what you want, but it's not completely perfect. So you either have to look at delaying the down, back 2, or switch to 2 forward forward 3 is your tornado. It's 1 less damage. Either way, you're good. The last major combo to look at fixes that problem in another way, like this. Quarter circle 1 plus 2, 2. This is a 2-hit tornado attack, just like the rest, does the most damage, forces you into wolf stance, for better or for worse, as I said before. So what this does is it basically prevents you from doing Ender C, the one that has horse 3 in it. You simply do not have enough time. Once you've done this and you're in wolf stance, you can tap back to cancel the wolf as fast as you can. It's going to take like 8 frames to do that. So by doing that, you lost your ability to do horse 3. You can do the Ender D. I'll do a quick version of it like this. So you can do that. You can do Ender D off of that, but not Ender C. Ender C takes too long. It might look the same, but the horse 3 takes too long. So Ender D is an option. However, Ender B is still the most damage overall and the hardest to do. Well, now it gets harder because you have to cancel the wolf stance. This can also be done, but it is easily the hardest combo thing that she has. Goes like that. I'm getting used to it by now. The cool trick is when you do the quarter circle 1 plus 2, 2 tornado, you don't have to dash. You're in plenty of range to just do double quarter circle 2, and it'll work just fine. You do not have to dash. The problem with learning it is when you learn to do the inputs, there's a delay factor in there. You can if you take too long, you're not intentionally delaying it, but if you just take too long, it'll miss. So you got to learn that rhythm. Bop, 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 and it'll come out. Right? Boom, boom, boom. If you delay it, it'll miss. Again, hardest combo she has, but that is technically the max damage. So that is the most you can do for the most effort. Again, if you're not comfortable with that, just stick to Ender A. You can just tap back to, in this case, to cancel the wolf stance and just dash up and Ender A. It's way easier. You're going to get, 5, 6 less damage doing it that way, but it's up to you. So those are the combos that work on everything, basically. You can use that anywhere you want to, and we could be done right here. I want to show you, before the end of this section, the unique combo for this. This is just the dumbest thing ever, but you can use what we've learned to find a version of it that works. Just changes a different opener. Down 3-1. And there you go. Down 3-1 into the back 2-3 that we used in the first combo, and the down 4-2 tornado that we're going to use everywhere. It can't get any easier than that. Down 3-1 is the hitbox necessary. You can sit here all day and practice stuff and see if you can find new things. Like down 3-1-2 is a tornado. Right? So you get stuff like, you can do whatever you want. But either way, that's as easy as pie for me. Down 3-1, back 2-3 in the tornado. 6 hits like everything else. All 4 enders are available. There you go, nice and reliable. It's crap damage compared to the rest, but it works. Otherwise, you have a hard time picking up this combo in general. 43 damage is fine, as opposed to the 0 you get, right, for missing everything else. So that's one unique combo for that launcher because that launcher is stupid. Otherwise, you don't have to worry about it. So the next set of launchers are all green in the move list because they're all crumple stuns. This list is 3-2. Again, that has a unique input. If you just frame 2, you get boom, 2 bonus damage. Down forward, 4-3. Crumple stun. 1 plus 2, charged all the way up. Stalking Wolf 1, charged all the way up. Counter hit down forward 1-3. As well as back 2-3. Same crumple. Quarter circle 1 plus 2-2. Crumple stun into Wolf. And these last 2 aren't crumple stuns, but they're going to work the same way. And that's Horse 4 into Wolf and Cat 4 into Wolf. Right? Same way. So, all of those crumple stuns, because you have the time, you can manually go into Wolf stance, which is going to do a nice chunk of damage. So all of these combos are going to have to sacrifice a hit somewhere in the line from what we just looked at. So the first one, for example, back 2-3, 4-3-4. That's the exact same combo we did. It just starts with Wolf 2 instead of the down back 2, right? So the next one, let's look at the red sequence. Wolf 2, down 4-2, 4-2, And here we use forward, forward 3 for the tornado because it's one hit. Otherwise, it's exactly the same, right? The previous combo, we did the red sequence, and then we did the 2-hit tornado. Now we're doing Wolf 2 into the red sequence, into a 1-hit tornado. You got to trade that hit off somewhere. But that's it. That works just as well. Wolf 2, red sequence, forward, forward 3. Next up is the blue sequence. Wolf 2, forward, forward 2, 2, down, back 2, and then your forward, forward 3. Remember how we did the stabilization combo the last time? Was a down, back 2, a 2 jab, and then that, you just dropped the 2 jab because you did the hit first. So your blue sequence, a down, back 2, and forward, forward 3. You can do the hard way. Right? You can do that right away out of the blue sequence. Quarter circle, 1 + 2, 2. Again, max damage, hardest version, but it's there. Anything but Ender 3, and you can use this one once you get used to it. You tap back to cancel your wolf stance, or you could just wait it out. It takes like a couple of frames, but you hold back, you'll cancel your stance, and then you go for your ender. You're good to go. It's hard. I'm not going to lie. It's hard in the beginning. Once you get used to it all, like how long it takes to do this and when you can move, it all starts to fit in pretty easily. Becomes a lot easier to just have this ready to go. Tap back, boom, boom, right? It's muscle memory. So that's it. Those are the variations of the combos to start with Wolf 2. Because the crumple stuns either give you time to do it, or your starters force you into Wolf stance, and so Wolf 2 is an obvious choice right away. 2 of the moves, the quarter circle, 1 + 2, 2 counter hit, you can cancel Wolf right there and do a normal combo, as well as Horse 4. You can tap back to cancel the Wolf stance and then do the same combos we listed up above. All 5 of those combos work exactly the same way. You can't do this with Cat 4. Cat 4 is not going to give you enough time because they're backwards. So all these combos where you can do Wolf 2 because you have the time, you can opt to not do Wolf 2 and do the exact same 5 combos from the first section. The ones that force you into Wolf stance, you could cancel the Wolf stance and do those same 5 original combos as well. However, the Wolf version has generally been more damage. That's why we cover it specially. You want to do the Wolf version, but if for some reason you're not comfortable doing manual Wolf like that, Horse into Wolf into 2, fine, that's fair. You can just do 3-2 and do the regular combos we looked at, right? That works just fine. They're a little bit less damage, but that's why they're listed this way. So those first 5 original combos from the orange section, they all work in the green section. And you can cancel Wolf if you need to. Otherwise, Wolf is advised. So that's kind of all you need to know there. Some special variations of the Wolf version. And the only thing that's different is just trading out 1 hit, right? You're going to switch to a 1-hit tornado instead of a 2-hit tornado because of Wolf. That's it. The rest is the same. So next up are your automatic tornado launchers, the ones listed in purple in your launchers in the Google Doc. There's not too many of these. You're not going to see a ton of them very often. Cat 2-2. Whoops. Just a second hit of Cat 2-2. Man, we got range. Cat 2. Man! Okay. Cat 2-2. There you go. Counter hit is an automatic tornado. Force 1 + 2, the low. Tornado. That one again, you have to crouch cancel or just wait it out or whatever. It changes things. But the one you are going to probably get a little bit out of is while standing 3. This move is fairly decent. I feel like it could be safe and the world wouldn't, explode. But that's a good move. And you're going to get an automatic tornado off of that. So, because you have a tornado, which is an even longer sequence in the crumple stun, you can do Wolf. So let's just use while standing 3. Right? Wolf picks up the same way. So you've already used your tornado, so we got to do a slightly different combo here. One little choice that you could do that's pretty easy. You do back 2-3, a nice easy juggle hit, and I just did a 1 jab, and I did Ender A. Back 3-4, 1 + 2. That's really easy to do. I'll just show it to you again. 2, back 2-3, jab, Ender A, just like that. All right, not bad. We can do a little bit more damage by mixing it up a little bit and adding some difficulty into it. The hard mode combo, which again is only going to be like 9 damage if you nail it. So the reason, this is kind of the one that like throws all of the pieces we talked about together, max damage-wise. We mentioned down forward 4-3 as like a big heavy move you want to get early on. This is a great place to do it from your tornado. We talked about running 2-2, the buffed up version of the blue sequence. You have time to do running 2 as opposed to just forward 2, so that's extra damage. And you're using Ender B, which pumps up 5 more free damage doing the whole thing. So this is a max damage enchilada going on here. I don't think I got the running part in the middle. I think I missed one. But again, that's 1 damage. By skipping out on running 2 and just doing forward 2, 1 damage. Running 2 is harder. It's actually a little bit of a slower move because of the extra input. It's not as easy to do, but it's written in bold, if I haven't mentioned this yet. And you go look at the Google Doc, all the things written in bold have a just frame input that does give you more damage. They're written in the normal way. It's written as forward 2, but it's in bold. So you know, oh, there's an extra input if you want to go for it. Not necessary. You see, I missed it there. It was still 76 damage. So that's a much harder combo. So those are your automatic tornadoes. The first one is nice and easy. The second one is much harder. Just, pick one you're comfortable with. Her hop kick up forward 4-4 is similar in that it causes the automatic tornado. But that first kick, or the second kick, is airborne. You see where it says scaling 70%? That counts. The second hit of that counts as one of your combos. So you cannot do the above. You run out of time. So you modify one of them by just doing Wolf 2 jab. And then Ender A by itself. Skip out on the other stuff. That's not great damage, and it's pretty easy, but we can do better. So all we do with the second version of the combo is skip out on this hit. So we're going to do the hop kick and cancel out of Wolf and just do forward 2. There you go. More damage. This one is much easier to do running 2 because they're on the ground. But again, the whole sequence is just the blue part, forward 2, horse 2, blue sequence, and Ender B. Just like that. 64 damage as opposed to like 55, whatever it is. It's worth learning. And if you miss it, it's no big deal. You'll get it next time. Your low parry is the same thing. Your low parry works just like the automatic tornado launchers. Down forward 4-3, running 2-2, Ender B. Just go for that. That's your best bet. I mean, obviously, you can change these up and, do some jabs at the end of it. Right? You can do jabs and make your way to the wall. You can obviously change it up for what you need. That's the point of these things, is learning what your options are, and you can change them up. You can see anywhere you see the blue sequence, you have these options. But in this combo, that's pretty much the end, so you just do your ender, right? Otherwise, you can piece these all together however you need to. Low parry is the same. So last up are the combos you can do in heat mode, which is a little bit crazy because she has 2 of these aerial spins. She can get like 14 combos in heat mode. It's kind of nuts. But what I want to talk about are heat applications of combos that you're going to see a lot more often. So what you're going to see most people do in matches is just activate their heat burst in combo and then just end the combo and go about their business. Have heat mode on the other end of it. So a good way for you to do that would be the Wolf 2. So, for example, I'll do a combo that has it baked in. Like that. That's a pretty good way to do it. After your tornado, you generally have time to do Wolf 2 if you wanted to, or you could do Horse 3. If you just did a combo like this, let's make it like that. You do Horse 3, then boom, there's your heat burst. And from there, you can just end the combos you normally did. So let's look at something like... that, Horse 3, into heat burst, Ender A. It takes a little bit of damage because that last part scales because of the heat, but the heat burst does not affect your juggle count or whatever. You can do, you're basically just sticking that extra hit in there. You were going to do Horse 3 and then your ending string. Now you're doing Horse 3 heat burst and then your ending string, right? That's it. So those are good applications of doing it. If you're at the end of a normal combo, you can just do Horse 3 and heat burst off of that. Or if you find yourself in Wolf stance, you can do Wolf 2 and heat burst off of that pretty well. Down forward 4-3 would have the same thing because it causes that little tail spinny thing. You can heat burst it and then do Ender A or Ender B and be good to go. That way you don't miss really on any damage and you get heat mode on the other end of it. Some other cool things you could do is if you use your heat crush before you've used your tornado, maybe in something like this. 4-2-4-2, heat burst. Do damage like that. So if you've used, and once you're in heat mode in the middle of a combo, you can then use your quarter circle to 1+2, right? Which puts you in wolf. As soon as you're in wolf, you can tap up to go into heaven and earth. And since they're airborne into combo, heaven and earth 1, this big chop causes a spike. And then from that spike, you can do the down 1+2 punch stomp. And do that off of the spike. So one more time, we'll do the whole combo like this. Down forward 2, forward 2. Heat burst. Tornado. Heaven and earth 1. Boom. Just like that. That's going to use up your whole thing, but you can get a chunk of damage that way. So you can think of that as later on the combo, like if you juggled them all the way to the wall, then you use your tornado, then you can still do the spike thing, etc., etc. This is the one, like, if it kills, do it. If you can't kill with this, you're going to waste your heat. This is going to spend the entire thing, but you do get a nice chunk of damage at the end of a combo. Because that last hit, the down 1+2 is unscaled, it's going to hurt. The other thing you could do is use your heat dash in the middle of a combo. So all of your heat engagers will let you run up and do one final hit in combo. And you do something like this. So you activate in the middle of a combo at some point, and then after the bound or your tornado or whatever, you do back 1 and hold forward and do the heat dash, and you finish with the 4-4 1+2. That's going to be a nice chunk of damage. Probably the most that you could get. And again, you only do these if it's going to kill. If you know your combo can kill with this extra little 5 damage, spend all your heat. Otherwise, do the first option, just activate heat in the combo, and then go about your business otherwise. Now, the last thing to talk about is the combos you can do from heat engagers. Heat engagers cause a combo in heat mode, but this damage scaling is really, really high. However, the juggle scaling is less. Like, this is what I've tested as like the most reliable sequence for some of these things. You can get like 3 extra hits. It's kind of crazy. So that's 65 damage. Doesn't seem like a lot, but heat mode combos don't do damage at all. But you can see I got like 2 extras. I did the blue sequence, and then I did like most of the other one too. Like, you could get a ton of extra hits for whatever reason. Heat engaged launchers have less juggle scaling, so you can squeeze extra hits. That's kind of just what I put together with everything. The blue sequence, a down back 2 and a back 2-3, and then your tornado. And you still get the ender that you want at the end. Geez, you can still get your damage back. So it begs the question, why bother, right? Why did they make it so it scales damage harder, but then scales juggle less so you get more combo and the end result is the same? I don't know. So that's it for your full combo system. We talked about basically 4 combos you can use anywhere. The red sequence and a tornado. The blue sequence and a couple of different options in tornado because stability is the thing. And that's it, right? That's all you really need. The rest are just, can I do wolf or not? If I can't do wolf, then I just stick to the regular combo. And if I do automatic tornado, what do I do? And you basically just do the blue sequence and an ender, and you're good, right? You could skip out the hits, blue sequence, and do ender B and go home. That's all you need. So the last element is wall combos.